if I was to have like a disagreement with my partner, I realize how futile it is to try to solve the problem and reconnect if I'm not in a place where I can actually enter into love. Because I can actually only get as high as understanding. Um, and what I noticed was um, that I would enter in like, okay, let's resolve this thing. But I was actually energetically, I was closed off like in my heart
Hmm.
because like I may have felt like some type of pain, maybe some type of fear, some type of hurt, whatever it is. So I'm more closed off and like I'm going into let me understand. But it's like that nothing was getting fixed either way for us because it was at the level of the minds. And it was like, oh yeah, it's pretty futile to try to enter back into a loving place when I'm actually have not entered into a space of lovingness before I then go and try to talk. So, just realizing that just taking that time to go inward to navigate what I need to release any fear, which is ultimately lies. What lies do I need to release? What truth do I need to enter into? So I can open up, and now I can go and have a conversation from a place of actually desiring intimacy, connection, love, and to really receive and to feel, and not just to have myself be heard. And how much of a difference it makes just changing that one thing has been really powerful.
Yeah, we used to say, or I used to like to say, that you can't solve the problem in the state of consciousness you have the problem in. I
Yeah.
saw this very early in ayahuasca in my early 20s, that I would be in this space and I'd try to talk with somebody and fix it, and I couldn't. And then I'd go
Yeah.
drink ayahuasca and I'd go into an altered state. I could solve it in there and then come back to the person in a completely different state, now open, like you're saying, and then it would get solved. And I think that that's really tying into that idea that we have this field and we're part of this field. And when the field is closed off, no matter how hard we try mentally or logically to solve one of these things, we can't do it. I also found this to be a great lesson associated with anger and anger management. I said, don't go have a conversation angry. If you're angry, go to the nature. Nature, Mother Earth is the only thing big enough to handle your anger. Go get it out
Mm.
there. Go to a place where you're finally totally neutral about it, and then come back and address the source of whatever caused you to be angry in the first place. I see so many people try to approach conversations while they're still triggered. And I think all that
Mm.
that does is give somebody an opportunity to churn in the mind about it.
Yeah, and it's almost like if you do go and try and have a conversation from a place of anger, it relies on willpower, which has it's like hanging on the edge of a cliff. It's like it doesn't matter how hard you try, eventually it's going to go. And if you're in a state of anger having a conversation, so often it's only a matter of time before that anger gets expressed in the conversation. If you're constantly trying to hold it down, so like, okay, I want to resolve this, but I've got all this anger that I'm feeling, and I'm trying my best to suppress the anger. You're only ever a moment away from the person saying something that is just the right thing that allows it to come out.
I wonder, when we deal with ourself in this, like we say, okay, God matters and self matters, and the way that we show up matters, which is, what we're talking about right now. I wonder how much of that work somebody has to do for themselves first about that relationship with self. I think it's really easy to externalize that somebody else has a problem or is a problem. And I wonder how much of that anger is really, I'm angry with myself, I'm sad with myself, I'm upset with myself. I've been,
Mm-hmm.
hurting myself, or I've traumatized myself, or I'm not treating myself in that lovely, loving way.